Alright guys, I'm going to show you my version of installing a 3236 Weber carburetor into a 1961 or similar vintage Scout. I'm doing it on my 152 engine. I'll show you guys that real quick. So as you can see, I've already started some of the tear down. My project came to me with nothing assembled, so all I really did was take off the carburetor that was on there. It wasn't the stock one in the first place, so don't think it would have helped you guys too much. Let's jump into it. First thing we're going to start by doing is taking your adapter piece. It does come with a little plug, looks like that. I want to make sure this thing doesn't leak, so I'm going to start by throwing some silicone on there, some RTV. Don't want to go crazy with the stuff, just enough to kind of coat it and make sure it doesn't leak. I'm just going to put on a little dab. That's a lot more than I want. All right. Make sure I don't want this to get mixed in with any of the fuel or anything that's going to be going in there, so just really light coat on the threads. Grabbing a towel here. All right. Make sure I don't have any on the end. It's going to be facing inside. Alright. So, looking for this little port that's pre-drilled in there. Gonna just get that guy in there. Get the thread started. Get your Allen wrench in there and just tighten that bad boy down. Just enough to where it feels nice and snug. Awesome. There you go, step one. Next up, you want to make sure you're starting with a clean surface. I already took the liberty of getting the scraper out and getting this all nice and clean, making sure my threads in here are feeling good. Gonna have a nice good surface. Then I'm going to grab my gasket that's included in that Weber adapter kit, setting that right on top of there. Alright, so what I did was I started by tightening the carb adapter on there first so that it put a nice little impression on my gasket here. I'm going to start by getting some gasket shellac like that. And I'm going to do my very best to not overcoat this thing. I just really want to get the part where the gasket is going to be touching the sealing surface on the intake manifold. So just go right around there. Not overcoating anything, just enough to get it to seal nice and tight. So I'm pretty happy with that. Feel like I got coverage everywhere. It did go a little over what I wanted to, but nothing too bad. So I'm gonna put that back down. Put that down where it needs to be. Now that I have that portion down, I'm going to get a little more sealer on this gasket surface. The other side. So once again, not going crazy, just right around where this gasket's gonna be sealing. Now I'm going to make sure that my port is facing towards the back, just in case I ever do want to tap into it. There's a lot more space on that back side. Don't want to hit into this thermostat housing. So lining myself up. Got a little bit of time to make sure getting everything set up right. That started. This does allow it to slide back and forth, so take advantage of that during this part. Welcome, you guys. All right. As you can see, trying to get that lined up so that I get the full amount of air going in there. Awesome. Now the manual does call for these to be torqued down to 12 foot-pounds. I don't have any sort of crow's feet tools for that, so I'm just gonna make sure that these are good and tight on there. Nothing too crazy. Just get them nice and snug. Alright, now that we get that all tightened down, you're going to go ahead and put your gasket on top. And you are going to grab a carburetor. You're going to get your bracket that they supplied you with. Gonna put that on the opposite side from the choke, and you want it to sit right there. I did already put in all these bolts and washers, so they're in their correct spots. Then just set that down, guide your bolts through. So it should be looking just like that. All right, next up, you're gonna grab a bag of bolts that they supplied with you. Get out your, should be 4 more nuts and 4 more washers. Those you're just gonna throw on the bottom of each nut. One, kind of alternate sides, get it cinched down evenly. Just getting these kind of finger tight on here. So once again, we're tightening these to about 12 foot-pounds. Definitely don't want a leak. Just going around once again, getting these spaced out so it goes on evenly. On there tight. Last one here. And just so we're on the same page, we got, let me get you guys right here. So, there's 1 bolt, 2, 3. And right behind that, behind here, that one's harder to see. It's right here, it's number 4. Best way I found is really getting two wrenches at the same time in there. Got a nice ratcheting one. Comes in handy. Alright, so I am out here again working on the Scout. Next thing I'm tackling is the gas pedal, accelerator pedal here. So I picked up, let me show you guys. Picked up this gas pedal, accelerator pedal from eBay actually. Obviously it was a little bit sketched out, but the quality looks really nice. I looked at low car, obviously much more expensive. So I started a little bit already. I'm just gonna catch you guys up. I just used this piece as a template, set up what I got going here. I actually have already cut and replaced some of the sheet metal on the ground there, based on the stock gas pedal. But as you can see, she lines up pretty nice. What I did was cut a little template. I used my little Harbor Freight punches and got a good start. And as you see right here, I have it sharpied out on where I want to cut it. So I'll be getting that plasma cutter going and we're gonna cut it shortly. All right, sorry for the air compressor noise, but let's get after it. Probably not the cleanest cut of all time, but let's see. I think she'll do the trick. Alright, so now I got the pedal in there, got all the screws. Let me see if I can get to focus for you guys. There you go. Got all the screws in there. Get you guys a good angle. There you go. Got all the screws in there, and let's head underneath. So it's a little cramped down here, but that's what she looks like from the other side. So I'm gonna grab that template, see how much of this I can do with one hand. All right, I did my best to set you guys up. So I got my mounting plate. Trying not to push any of these screws. Looks like I got half of them started at least. Let's see. See about getting these tightened down. Probably gonna get helper tightening these down. Be back soon. Wasn't the hugest fan of the cable they included, so I went out and I purchased this one. Got it at AutoZone. I think it was like 30. Actually got the receipt. It was $38 even. Definitely probably not the cheapest way to tackle this, but it's the easiest way that I was able to come up with. So let's attach it. All right, so I'm gonna come back out here and you get your guy plugged in there. Next up, you're gonna feed this through here. I'm gonna bring you guys around over here for a second. All right. Just doing a couple things here. Thread this in, get this as loose as possible. Make sure you got all your wire in. So I'm gonna thread that through. There we go. Now that I know that's all the way in there, we're gonna tighten that down. Get it super tight. And as we can see, we made that connection. Now we get to choose which one of these we're going for. That's not ideal. See about swap. There we go. So we're gonna get that in there. Get the pin in there. Spread that. All right. just gonna get this started. All right, so I'm skipping ahead a little bit. I was having some trouble, so I just want to take you guys through what I did. So you gotta thread your, you gotta take that E-clip off right there that comes on that Spectra kit. Okay, but you're actually not using that pin. You're gonna have to use the one that came with the pedal. I know, follow me. So then, once you get that off, you thread that clevis piece on, thread that in, come down here, and like I said, you put the pin that goes through there from the kit that came with the throttle pedal. Okay, then you use the Spectra piece right there, use that Spectra stuff, come all the way up here, where we get that. And I did open mine up a little bit just to kind of make sure that it stays planted in there. Then came over here and got that hooked up. It's just got a little 10 on the outside right there, an 8 right there. Probably need to tighten that up a little bit more. But let's see if I can show this to you guys. This is me pressing the throttle. See those secondaries opening up. I did have to cut the cable. I don't know, about 6 inches. Yeah, then you just thread that through there, tighten it up, and got yourself a working throttle pedal. Last thing I just quickly want to touch on is the fuel regulator I put on there. It's the Holley 12804, 12804. I'm redoing all the fuel lines on mine, so I'm not going to take you guys super in depth, but just to show you kind of some of the routing I did here. So I happen to have this bracket here. I don't know if you guys have that too, if it's stock or what, but I was able to get this little fuel gauge off of Amazon. I think it was like 20 bucks, something like that. And then I was able to get some self-tapping screws, tap that Holley guy in there. You know, I bought all the fittings to, got some brass fitting coming out to some, I want to say this is a 3/8 fuel line. I'm doing 3/8 NICOP line all the way back, but that taps into my fuel pump there. And yeah, up here, you know, on the one side I got the gauge, on the back we come out, and I got big long loops. I don't love how it's routed, but it's kind of the best shot I had at making sure there was no kinks. And then I come right here to this 5/16. So once again, maybe not the simplest, maybe not the cheapest, but it definitely was the way that I did it. Yeah, I'm excited to get the distributor thrown in. I gotta finish running some lines, those fuel lines like I said. Still quite a bit more work before I really fire up, but got that conversion part started. See you guys next time.